the button? No, it's good. Okay, what's up? Welcome back. So today we're blocking another car. We got a Durango. We're gonna be doing the front 2 doors and full windshield, so we get to take our sweet, ever-loving time on this one. We're doing 20% on the front doors. We're doing 50% on the full windshield, and it's gonna look good. It's gonna look good. I didn't even get my camera completely set up yet, so give me a minute. We're going to be doing that. In the meantime, I also have to ban somebody in my group. Oh, what is it? Why does it always do this? See, I post to my own group, and then it puts it in this, like, sales format. Like, automatic sales format. You can't sell anything in my Facebook group. But it does it anyways. Okay, so we caught it. What's going on? The 7. Wow, I need some coffee. Brad, Lionel, Mark. You're the man. Thank you. Yeah, we gotta get this headset going. I know I gotta get started here, but I'm jealous of all the other streamers that just get to click go live and sit in front of their computer for a hot minute. It's getting colder. I had to turn on my heat today. For here. We've had it at home for a little bit. D-Town! How you doing? Alright. So, hopefully, we didn't just... I always like to make sure that this is running before I go live. Every once in a while, I'm like, it'll be fine. We'll see. We'll see if this is one of those days where it's totally fine. So, in a little brief tutorial setup, battery goes in the streamer. We turn both of them on, and we turn the GoPro on, leaving the HDMI cable unplugged because that just makes the whole thing poopy. Then we wait for that to just kick on for a minute, let it settle in. If it wants to give me any messages, no. Okay, good. Oh, nope, there it is. Plug this in, GoPro goes dark. And then if we switch to this, hey, that looks pretty good to me. Last but not least, we have to turn on the microphone, which I totally forgot to charge, so that's not going to be a problem later, right? How did I forget to charge this? It's always black for a few seconds, for a few unknown, like, and then boom, there it is. There's always like this little bit, like, it's plugged in, it's going to the computer, and then it goes into like a capture device. So every time I have it shut off, turn it back on, it's always like, I hope it picks it up, I hope it picks it up. Okay, good, it did. Because you never know. The capture card could just decide to not work anymore, and that's happened. Well, it looks like we're good to get started. Welcome, everybody. And then pop this sucker on. Looks like everything's working. All right. Should we can do one of these dudes. And then the magic GoPro. Hey, mic good? Okay, perfect. All right, so we have front doors. We're going to be doing in 20%. We're going to be doing full windshield in 50%. We have a little bit of prep work to do, and I think everything is pretty much in order. So do you not run a battery in the GoPro? No, I don't. That's become, like, there's no reason to. I tried leaving one in there for a quick minute, And I don't know, it didn't work. It didn't work very well with it. So I wanted to like be able to just swap the battery really quick. But there's too much going on with the media mod. Like, there's too many steps. So it makes way more sense just to have a big, annoying external one. Plus the internal battery. All right, let me ask you a question. Which would you think has better battery life? When the GoPro is on and just idle, doing HDMI out, or when the GoPro is actually live streaming? Answer, when it's just idly sitting there. It's like the weirdest thing. So I don't get it. I don't get why it doesn't really, like, battery lasts maybe an hour. So external battery, about 3 hours or so, and then I can swap them. It's just annoyingly big. Oh yeah, water is a huge problem with these ones. Absolutely. So this is one of the unfortunate things that we have to do on this one. So there's a good reason for doing that. There's these little push clips. I normally don't see this that goes right back in the thing. These are really kind of unique to, like, I don't know, older push clips. And I'm glad that they do that on this car. So I don't normally pop out sweeps on the Durango, or I don't normally pop out sweeps on most vehicles. There's a good reason why you do it on this, though. As somebody said, there's a lot of these that get sent back to the dealership for water damage. So that's easy enough on certain vehicles. I still don't like to remove everything, but this speaker right here, there's a wire that goes straight down into a module somewhere like in here. And so when you don't do that, all the water off the seal runs like this, and then it goes down that wire, and then it goes straight to the module. I know because I've done it accidentally. So now we pull sweeps on all Durangos just in case, or at least this model one, just to be extra sure. So there's a lot of cars with front speakers where you don't have that as a problem, but on this one, it's just one of the few vehicles where it is an issue. So I'm glad that this is as much as we have to do, but everything should be pretty good. So everything else should go pretty well. Oh yeah, I think I gotta send a link. Let me do that. Let me get this taped up, and then I gotta send a link. Is it a spider? Mosquito? Ew. Looked like a spider at first, but I think that was a mosquito. Canon. All right, let me send a link here really quick. I totally forgot. Was heading to SEMA today. Was hoping to see you there. Aw. I thought I might be going, but I'm not going to SEMA because I'm here. Appreciate it though. Yeah, the Tint conference was really like the only. Here is the link to the live stream. There we go. Just realized that YouTube shows how many people are viewing. Is that something new? They've been making some small changes. I'm not super happy with the, like, Yeah, a couple of the UI changes. So, like, it's weird. They just need to make a light overlay over the chat, and they used to do it, but it used to be really heavy. So when you flip your phone sideways, it's like now you see the chat on one side, and then your screen is like way compressed down. It used to be like bigger with the chat going straight over it. They just need to give you like a opacity thing, just make it less visible. I don't know. But yeah, they've done some of that. They like to post viewers now. Anything tint related at SEMA? Geo's supposed to be there. I don't know if they have a booth, but they're going to be walking around there. And some companies, there's like some of the bigger film companies do something for SEMA, but it's not as, typically not as notable as what you hear for like the film conference. But it is one of those things that is definitely a thing. Like, other companies go all out for SEMA, and it's one of those things where I've never actually been there to see it, but I don't know. Gio wanted me to go to SEMA, but it's kind of hard to travel. It's kind of hard to travel with the little one. And while we were there, I wasn't entirely sure what we were going to do, other than walk SEMA, which car shows can be fun, but sometimes they're not. I don't know. All right, so let's grab a towel, spray this off. I fixed my tank, so now I have 2 good hoses, which is always nice, because you know when you have a dual hose setup, it's nice when both of them actually work. Gamble the college fund. Yeah, no. Is he even gonna go to college? I wonder. Oh, we should take this over to the other side. That's what we should do. Oh yeah, somebody asked about Plotter Depot software. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it still. I think it still needs the improvements that we talked about in the beginning. And then patterns have overall been pretty good, but I wouldn't say they're a game changer. Oh my god. Did it really? I guess that'll work well enough. The O-ring popped out again. I think I don't actually have a good answer. So I put my other stainless steel connector on it, and it like popped the O-ring out. And now maybe we can do a little tank maintenance. Do we have time for that? Can we do that? Here, let me do this real quick. Maybe this would be a big meme. I don't know. So, real quick, we're gonna do. I figured out how to do this the other day. I gotta repressurize this too. So these are quick disconnects, and this is what happens when an O-ring pops out. So that basically means that water is just gonna right through the top. What's up? Oh, see ya. Yep, no problem. What PSI are you running? Usually about 70 to 80 right now. So, see that? That's no good. So the spring like crams down. And then this, I found out, is pretty easy to fix. So all you have is your little stainless steel end And then you have the O-ring. And then you put this back up in here. Oh, I probably should have done that on here first. And then you just line it back up. Twist it back down. Screw this back on. And then we gotta charge it back up. So, I don't know if it was because of my other, I think it was because of the other stainless steel end I was using. It like popped it out a couple times. Maybe it's just funky, but it should work. We'll see. Do you have any annoying customers that call every 5 minutes? No, all my clients have been really, really good. I mean, I get some extra concerns sometimes in the beginning when, like, because I get a fair amount of people here that have never had tint before, and that's kind of cool. And then I get some people that can be extra particular, which always gets my nerves up a little bit, like not angry, just like always like, oh, I hope this job turns out as good as I hope. So let's charge that back up. Canon. And we'll let that go for just a second, and then I'll have 2 good hoses. Do you work Saturdays? If you do, what days are you closed? Yeah, I work on Saturdays. Generally just Sunday. And random days throughout the week. So it really just depends on the schedule. I'm not jam-packed every day, every week right now. That was more so like in the spring and summertime. And a lot of tinters know how this goes. Like, so if you've had a business for a while, you're usually pretty consistent, but things lighten up in the wintertime. As it gets colder or any drastic weather changes, things will start to lighten up. But for me, I fluctuate between like a lot of highs and lows right now. So we'll usually have enough people to kind of keep the schedule busy enough. But here and there, we have like a couple of off days. So it's more of like a flex schedule right now. So things are set up to not be super hectic here anyways. So I'm just kind of like, when I have work, I have work. And when I don't, I'm doing other stuff. And that's been really, really nice, actually. I'm letting this GoPro. All right, we're at 66. So this isn't the best air compressor for the job. This is just one of those, like, you can mount it on a wall and let it do its thing. So it's at 71 right now. I think I set it all the way up to 80. And then it'll just do its thing until it gets up there. It's literally, to fill it, you literally have a valve stem at the top, and you have this little guy. So you fill it up with water, fill it up with a little bit of soap, mix it around, undo the valve stem, and then use an air compressor to put air in it. This is a pressure release. Cool. So this is a pressure release valve, and that's how you let out all the pressure. So, I don't know, you put that wherever you want. Can you use the air from the gas station? I'd probably avoid it. I mean, yes, you can. But there's lots of other people that are using it, so you don't know, like, it sits outside, so you don't know if there's any little funny bits in the hose. So the air compressor, you want it to be fairly clean, I guess. So if you want just a cheap budget air compressor, they got so many little tire air compressors for like 20, 30 bucks that'll go up to, like, you know, well past 35. So tires, depending on your car, have to be filled up to about that amount, but they have ones that go easily upwards of like 100 to 150 psi, and that's what I was using for a very long time. Takes a hot minute to fill up the tank, but they definitely get the job done. And they're really, really portable, so if you're doing mobile, just throw it in your vehicle, drive around with it. I mean, it was actually a big help when sometimes the shops that I would run to, they would generally have an air compressor, but there's a lot of, like every once in a while, the air compressor wouldn't be working. We should probably change out that blade. Let's do that. So we're doing 20 on the front, 35, 50, not 35, 50 on the windshield. Yeah, let's swap this. That's how you fill up. That's how you fill up the keg with air. We already have enough like solution in there, so we're plenty good on that. I just didn't want to fill it up with other stuff. Where's my? Well, that's not good. It's around here somewhere. I like tidied up my spot a little bit, and I must have just thrown them somewhere. Usually they're like right along here. My extra pack of blades. Definitely shouldn't go far. Does anybody want some Doritos? Oh Lord, that's really not good. Do you drill a new hole for the stem? If you buy it pre-assembled, that's one of the things that Tint Keg does. But, oh, look at that. There they are. I knew they didn't go too far. But yeah, if you just buy the keg, you need to drill a hole in the top of it for the valve stem, because there's no other way to fill it up other than like kind of rigging something up with a, rigging something up with a quick disconnect. So they do this because most people just, you want an easy way to fill up your tank. So they'll drill a hole in the top. Otherwise, you'd have to like rig something up with the airline, a quick disconnect in this, and then that would be another way to do it. But again, it's just, you got to make sure that you have that part with you. If you run around, go to somebody else's shop, they're not going to have that. Most places have an air chuck, so however you want to do. I feel like these windows shift around a lot. They do. Grand Cherokees especially. Durangos, Grand Cherokees, and mixed match of a handful of other vehicles like it. The front doors definitely shift back and forth a fair amount. I don't get near as many Durangos as I get like the Rams and stuff though. So we pop the seal out, so we can definitely go a little bit farther down on this one too. It's kind of nice too. Especially when you're putting the seal back in, but you don't have to, but it is nice too. Still wiggling, just a little bit. These aren't tight. These are pretty standard. You gotta get used to them. But on Durangos, like we talked about at the very beginning, you kind of want to make sure that your... Oh, do I gotta do this? I guess I gotta do this. Okay, we'll do that. That way we're not closing ourselves in. And then we'll pop open this back one. Should probably roll down one of these back windows too. So, like I was saying at the beginning on the Durango, we actually, like, this is one of the few sweeps that I pop out, just to kind of, like, for those of you that are just tuning in. We pulled the sweep on these So Grand Cherokees and Durangos and a handful of, like, bunch of other vehicles, but those, they're very similar. So they have the little, like, push pin connectors right here. So you just pop that back and the seal pops out. Reason being is there's a module somewhere in here. So water will run along the seal down your speaker wire to a module. And then it'll go and then the lights start being funky, the wipers start going. I'm good with every other car besides this one, so I pop out the sweeps. Hey, you're doing good on that. And I don't care if you pull out the sweeps, it's totally fine. I mean, on a lot of easier vehicles to do that, I think you're giving yourself all the advantage in the world to make it look a little bit better. The issue I have is, like, if I'm always popping out sweeps and kind of teaching that way, well, there's going to be cars that you run into that it's like, oh, well, I just two-stage that. Well, you just practiced a ton how to do it another way. And then when you actually have a difficult car that you're not going to be able to pop a sweep as easily, and you're kind of, you got to learn how to all of a sudden two-stage on something that's way more difficult than what you're used to. Unless you can then remove that one too. So that's where there's, like, just got to have that nice balance. Can you use a whiteboard as a peel board? You can use it as a peel board for sure. You just can't really cut on it. Because when you put scores in it and then you soak it with water, it's likely to swell. I mean, I've used, like, some weird plastic thing before. It was kind of like a plexi, and then every once in a while they just change it out. So glass is gonna last the longest, but even glass will score up a lot. You gotta watch it a little bit with glass. Oh, look at that. We gotta do our top edge. We should do our top edge one more time. That little nub in there. We pulled this so far down. We could do this like 10 times. Oh, come on. So we're gonna get it close to where we were. A little over the edge again, and we're gonna recut this. Come on. There we go. We good now? Yay. Beautiful. So that still looks good. This one, just a smidge. That'll do it. All right, so let's separate these ones. One's gonna go to the other side. And then this can stay here. I don't usually, oh, that's a bad place to put that. I don't usually pull sweeps, but these ones are really easy. They are. How's the apex? Oh, we removed it. It's on the front doors. And the front doors is fine. The windshield was what kind of irked me the most. I gotta do something about my 50% roll. Because the 50% roll had like had a little blur to it. Like a heavier orange peel. So it was not a great roll. But the other thing was, I like the coloring. Heat rejection's fantastic. There's a little bit more haze than I like. So when we're coming into wintertime especially, it's like, you know, we were comparing this against Pro Classic, and I've had Pro Classic. Or no, sorry, Pro Nano. I've had Pro Nano for a while, and we didn't have any of those feelings about it. So we put it on the van actually, and yeah, we're really happy with Pro Nano on it. So I think it maybe in a couple of SKUs, like, I mean, I'm sure if they have a blurry roll, they'll take care of it. It was really slight too, so I don't want to like make it sound worse than it was. That was just what I dealt with. But like, I was in there, and like my wife noticed it, and it's like when you have non-tinters making comments about it, that's when you really have a situation. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, this ain't good. They'll take care of it. I've been distracted with a bunch of other stuff, so. Should we round this a little bit more? Just a little bit? I don't know. It's looking pretty close. It's like, there's a slight chance that yeah, let's do that. Have you tinted a van? Yep, for sure. I don't know how you definitely will run into a van after a while. I've done transit vans, conversion vans, and I really don't like doing much of any of them, but I can do them. Conversion vans were the worst. Whenever you get somebody that has like an older conversion van, we would tint those things for like $300. And that was like, oh my God. You're cutting out like 16 unique little weird windows, and on the inside you have all this, like, it depends on the seals. Some of them had nice ceramic borders, and some of them just had like butyl that was just would melt as soon as you sprayed it. It was just nasty stuff. Not good. All right, so are we going to bottom load this, or are we going to two-stage it? Usually I just stick to what I do best. I mean, even with pulling the seal, I like to just do what I'm good at. It's not that I can't bottom load them. What the heck? Oh, son of a bitch. There's like all types of glue on this. These were tinted before. Ew, that's nasty. It's like all down here. See all that? It's glue. It's old tinted glue. Well, it's light. It's just all in areas that you want to be extra careful about. So if you're just kind of breezing through it, be extra careful about like side seals. Anywhere that's hard to get a 1-inch razor blade usually has stuff left behind, because it's something that most people don't have. Most people don't have, oh yeah, yep. Bad that I started razoring this one. It's nice to have the seal gone too, actually. Because then all these little, like, little bits, we can rinse those down. Most of it's clean. This only happens once in a long while. Every once in a while, something comes in you don't realize had tint on it before. But just keep it clean and nice, and you'll find it. Alright, we're gonna spray this with something. Not that. Should we try that? This stuff was interesting. This stuff works well. I don't think it's really any better than ATR though. But it looks cool. It all foams it. You know, who doesn't like their glass with some foam? But yeah, upholstery cleaner. Who knew? This has been funny. Like, I'll come across other recommended things for removing window tint adhesive, and I think they all pretty much work very similar. ATR is still, like, I think, kind of like the best out of them, but they all work well. So you got awesome ATR. I don't know, people have said oven cleaner. And then this upholstery cleaner anyways. But it's a good thing to just spray, make sure everything is well taken care of, and we can tint it. Sorry, I missed that comment. Was that? So this is gonna sound kind of silly, but I've been in my business for 2 years, and people love my work. Why does that sound silly? Oh, I see. There was more. That makes sense. Being too picky? Yeah, but that's why people love your work. I mean, I don't think that's bad at all. But you're right though. You will run into that here and there, where like your pickiness will make you take way longer, and then what's the difference between a window with like one speck and like no specs, right? Like, I mean, obviously the one spec, but is somebody really going to notice it? Those are all things that, you know, is up to your own standards. You do you. But I think there's a good balance. I think there's a good balance between the two. I've definitely, in this place, swayed towards being way too picky. But I've also noticed some, like, really good improvements from being that way, too. It's just trying to do it consistently that can be super frustrating. Because, like, I'll do all the same steps, right? I'll be just as careful, take my time, do this, do that, and then I'll get everything placed and installed, and then all of a sudden, like, before you know it, Nope. Nope, it didn't happen on that window. So then you're like back to square one again. Sucks. It's been like a couple of days. I've been like beating myself up about it. Because I like, especially on things that are kind of like simple, that's where it really gets to me, is like this job should take me like 20, 30 minutes, and I've spent like an hour and scrapped a bunch of film and whatever. It can be really dumb and annoying. Like this. What the fuck is even this? Oh, is that because it's slightly bunched? What the fuck? There we go. Did we forget to shrink this one? Or did we shrink it? Oh, no, we did shrink it. Okay. I thought I was losing my mind there for a sec. I was happy that I was really happy that I pulled the seal in that case. Like, well, at least I pulled the seal. No, we shrunk it. Just got really distracted cleaning it. Nice. You would have been okay. I would sure hope so. I don't like when that happens, though. Unless I planned for it. That's one of those dumb things that I'm talking about. It's like on an easy thing, and then all of a sudden you do something like that, and you're just like, ah. Wow. But no, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Sweet. That felt like it went pretty well, I think. Let's go over it one more time. We'll see how this cleaned out. Then we got to do the same thing with the other side, obviously. Probably nothing on the windshield, but a lot of Durangos, I mean, a lot of trucks and SUVs, they've had the front doors done at some point. I still run into plenty that, like, you know, if they haven't gotten, they're coming in to get the front doors tinted. Generally, they haven't been tinted before, but, you know, it's not an uncommon thing to run into, so keep an eye out. Whoever removed it. If they did, like, a good enough job, then it's just be a little extra careful. It's no sense in trying to charge more for it. Just be nice. Then you can let them know. Be like, you had glue all over it. I took care of it. It's fine. I see you use a lot of GeoShield now. I love express window films. Have you ever tried them out? I haven't. Can I speak freely about them? I think the owners just annoyed the shit out of me. They're always trying to pester my my Facebook group, so I banned him. He was just posting ads all the time, and I'm like, yeah, please stop. And then he just kept doing it, and it's like, okay, bye. So I haven't tried them, but that's good. How was the trick-or-treating? Oh, we actually didn't really do any trick-or-treating. We dressed up to take some pictures, and we wanted to go, and then it was annoyingly cold outside, so we didn't end up going out. but it's okay. We wanted to dress him up for Halloween and get some good pictures. Oh, come on. I just need that little piece to cooperate right now. There we go. That's all. Then it'll all peel off. Totally fine. So we got to do that anyways to put the seal back in, but I'm going to let it sit for a little bit before we do that, just to be on the extra sure side that everything looks good. It'll definitely like stay in place and all that, but you know. Just want to make sure that I don't find anything before I button it all up. So we'll go do the other side first. But should be good. Neat. Ding, 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 ding. First time I see Matt pulling panels. It's pretty rare, but it does happen occasionally. Like I said, I don't like to. But if it's for the greater job, then it makes all the sense in the world. So we don't want to ruin a module. That would be far worse than feeling a little iffy about popping a seal, especially on one like this. So easy peasy. It's that risk to reward thing. Did you prep the windshield? Ooh, no I didn't. I should have though. I got way ahead of myself. I should have prepped that windshield first. That's a smart way to do it. You prep the windshield, then do the doors. Then when you go to the windshield, it's all set. But no, we're gonna have ourselves. It's nice though, because we got plenty of time to work with. So are V-Nano and Pro Classic good for shrinking? You're the best. Aw, thank you. I haven't tried V-Nano, but Pro Classic is really, really good for shrinking. So, yes. And then other people in chat might know if V-Nano is good compared to what, I don't know. Easier than Pro Classic? I don't know. Have you ever tried the tool that lets you bottom load without pulling the panel? It's like the big shank. Yeah, like the gasket wizards. Not a lot. I've played around with them a little bit. I don't know. I think on a good amount of cars, they'd be helpful for you. If that's the way that you like to install, you'd be totally fine with something like that. Again, it's really like, I like a more universal way of doing things. So it's just when you get to doing one of those things on a much tighter window, just like, XPEL has their tool as well. And I just, it's a little big. It's a little bulky. So some of those things, they're not quite for me, but it makes it easier for you. Give it a try. How do you prevent fingers on the side and get them vertical for the shrinking process? Ooh, it's a good question for when I'm on the windshield. Should ask it again when we're there. So that's where you'll see H patterns. It's like kind of where H patterns come from. Did we cut both of them out again? Yes, we did. Okay, so we don't have to do anything. We just have to do some adhesive remover. Should we use the foamy one or should we use a different one? Where's ATR? Oh, it's hanging up there. Working on my first 2016 Tundra. Anything to watch out for? What did we do? We did the Tacoma, not the Tundra, right? Tundra will be a little bit of a cutting challenge. Things on a Tundra, like I don't really have any good tips for you, but the cuts on those things are a little unique because most of the Tundra has like pretty rounded corners, and then when you go to the back glass, like you still get a matrix border on it, or you have a ceramic border, but you don't have much room, so you're gonna probably spend a little bit more time cutting those out. But all the seals give you a generous amount of space, so don't worry about it. Just take your time. RSX rear windshield. RSX. Nothing comes to mind. Is it just giving you shrinking problems? It's hard to give just general tips on shrinking. It's like, if you watch any of the shrinking videos, it's all pretty universal. So like what you'll see on a pretty simple back window is gonna be the same as on a difficult back window, just you'll slow down a little bit and take more time trying to make sure that everything's all nice and tidy as you go. So I wish, like, it's not like window tint tips, like there's handfuls of vehicles that have something, but most of them are so similar in what you have to do and in the way we install that it's just, good luck. I wish I could tell more for you, but I can't. Late to the party? You are. It's a Durango party. I always like getting these on my schedule. Durangos are like really straightforward. It's just one of those cars that, yay. Would you rather have a Jetta on your schedule or a Durango? Durango, yes please. All right, so we're going to pop this one in. We're cleaning this one a lot just because of the glue that was on here before. That's never something I want to see. So anytime I do, I clean windows enough. This car helps me appreciate that I don't have tinnitus. Well, I guess if I had tinnitus, I'd get used to it because I hear the ding, and then I just tune it out. You just get so used to it. But it's nice to know at the end of the day that I don't have to sleep with that. Thanks a lot. You've actually been a big help. Aw, that's glad to hear that. Been tinting for 6 months. Nice, very cool. Should be a pretty good way along. The first like few months are really tough, and then it gets progressively easier. Once you get to about like a year, I mean it depends on the person, but when you get to about like a year from doing it pretty consistently, you'll have worked out a lot of the normal problems, and then it's just a matter of like, okay, this car's difficult, this car isn't. Oh, I had a bad day, and but learned almost every single thing from your live streams. I'm glad they're really helpful. That's awesome to hear. I like this way of tinting. I've seen a lot, and, you know, I'm a little partial because I mostly learned this way, but I'm glad I did because there's so many things that are very universal. All right, tinnitus. Did you pull the seals? I did on this one. Not to make it easier, but because there's a module that I want to be careful about. I mean, especially when you run into the fact that there's glue on the window. Could you imagine that? You just do this for the first time. You don't really realize that there is a module there. And then you have a vehicle just like this that comes in and like, oh, whatever. Yeah, a little bit of glue, no big deal. And then you spray too much water and fry a module. And you're like, ah, okay, that sucks a lot. I'd hate for it to be because of that. I guess we don't really need our shank for this part, though, huh? Habits. It always seems like there's a not great, like, just like the module happens to be there, and there happens to be a wire, and the water happens to do this on that vehicle and trail down this way. Like, that's a lot of the issues that we have. Just the water specifically channels to the wrong place. And I guess it's only a matter of time before you run into cars that do that. So this is one of them. I don't know what the module is called on this. I pulled both of them because I had a problem on one of them at a different store, and it was on the passenger side, and it affects the mirrors, turn signals, like a whole bunch of stuff. So I'll say it one more time, and then maybe we'll cut it into a video. But so when you're tinting these, at least on the passenger side, so flip it. Water, what would happen is everything would be okay. And then water would start to trail down here, and then it'd go down the speaker wire, and then there'd be a module somewhere in here, and then it would go right into the module. It was a little channel that ran straight into the module, like they designed it to fail that way. So if you pull the seal, then the water goes straight down, and then there's no problem with it. So and it was annoying too, because I did Durangos for a while with no issues, and then it was just like, you know, they make slight model changes year over year, and this model has been around for a while. So at some point within the last 2-3 years, they made a change and added something, or routed something or whatever, and yeah, it's not great. Be careful. So, yeah, good news is it's incredibly easy to pull seals on these. And if it wasn't, I probably just wouldn't have done them. Or if we got to remove the door panel, we're probably going to charge for it. So, just pop. Does it void the extended warranty? I think driving the car voids the extended warranty. Anything that you do once you have the extended warranty then voids the warranty, because that's why the extended warranty exists. It's to void itself. So dumb. Oh, I saw something. There we go. I'd say that looks pretty good. Nice. We got 2 clean windows. We got a full windshield to do here. So we're going to take a look at this guy. Do we take that off? I think so. Mirrors are a different story. Hello. What's up? Just put those there for now. All right. So you don't have to remove these either, and we may or may not, depending on how this goes. But I know what I'm getting into with these. There's that. And then this bit is like, I wish these popped off a little bit easier. But you can take them off after the fact. So these are twist off mirrors. I like to have this bit off before I twist it off, but sometimes they just, I feel like I'm yanking too hard on the mirror. And then in that case, yeah, like, you know, be careful. How do we, is this gonna pop out on me? Always, this part. Come on, come on, come on, come on. They get like 90% of the way there, and then they always stop. They drive me crazy. So, I don't know. There we go. Don't cut the wire. So then we prop that up. Now we have plenty of space. See this? That's where it twists on. Everything around it, like this is where cameras and stuff should go. But on a lot of them, they just don't put anything there, but they have the same big bulky style for no reason. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. I'm sure they do it because some of the other models are, so it's cheaper to manufacture them with it than without. So it gives you a lot of room. So with all that, it's better to just get it out of the way, but however you want to do it. We should have this prep beforehand, though. First things first, prep the windshield, then prep the rest, or then do the doors, and then when you come back, then when you get to the windshield, you're okay. Like, you know, it's dry, it's ready to go. Let's see, 2010 F-150 windshield. Any tips in your group? That break, do I need a special tool to remove the rear view mirror? Oh, on the 2010, yeah, you got the crappy mirrors. Just leave it. There's two styles, and if you don't know the difference between the two, like one of them's easy to pull, and the other one will just leave it alone. I don't do anything with it. Just cut around the mirror tab, splice directly up the windshield, and just tell them that's gonna be the best you can do. I don't know, that's how I'd handle the situation. Just kind of like leave it up to them. Most people will be okay with it. I don't like to leave a splice, but on that mirror, I think there's like a $300-400 tool to like remove it. And then there's all the like I don't know, because you need to, like, there's a spring clip in there and you need to press it down, and then the mirror will just like slide up. The hard part is just pressing down that clip evenly, because there's like a split in the middle, so you have to press down both sides. So somebody made like a special vise tool for it that works, but I think it's like they sell it for like $300-400 or something. Fade to Black. He had a video with like using a little chiseler and something else, and that seemed pretty decent. But the issue with it's like you either find like the perfect tools to fit right in that space that works like 99% of the time, or you're kind of left scrambling trying a bunch of little things. Maybe I shouldn't name names, but I know somebody that used a 1/4-inch socket driver. That fit damn near perfect there. And so you just like pop it up there with a hammer and then use a hammer to like get the rest of the mirror off and just lightly tap it off. And that worked until all of a sudden he broke a windshield. But most of the time it worked. So when it comes to stuff like that, I don't screw with it a whole bunch. I bought the Toyota extended warranty, though. Was I bad for doing that? It's like a 9-year. I like your comment. Bought the truck the other day, extended warranty, $5,500. That's going to be a no for me. I think with newer cars, if it's a manufacturer's bumper to bumper or something, there's potential for new systems to catastrophically fail, especially if it's on a newer model vehicle. Like something where there's too many things happening now, and they all work together. So whereas before it was like you change an alternator, you change this, you change that. Or now it's like that stuff still happens, but then you can have one module that, oh yeah, we gotta replace your whole car to replace that module. That's where it's like, eesh. What's the name of the tape you're using? Glass Aid. I'll put a link in the chat for you. So all we need to cut out, I was gonna set up the cutout to like go around the entire thing, but there's no reason to. You just need to cut out that circle spot. It'll keep it a little bit simpler, and that's like way up here. So, wow, that's even higher than I thought it was. Less of a chance for like a bunch of dirt to fall in. Because if there's one place that sometimes that can happen, in the past it's been around like these big old cutouts when you're messing with a lot. So like what I do is on a lot of these you cut out the whole border, and then sometimes when you're spraying off the windshield, water will like collect right here and it'll start to drip down. Be really careful of that. Thank you. You're welcome. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Thank you for not saying thank you in advance. Okay. Where do you get the disposable door covers? Carpet Shield. Glass 8. Oh, I'm sorry. It's the world right now. Wow. What was that? Shortages and global logistics are just not fun right now. They went from being perfectly fine to not being fun for everybody for quite a long time. Ooh, that's a good question. Does the Durango have a BCM in the same spot as the Ram? I don't think so, but it is something to worry about. It's actually as far as I know, it's harder to get to. And it's on, I think it should be on the passenger side. I don't know where most BCMs in vehicles even are. I mean, I'm assuming that a fair amount of them are up front, but I only know Chrysler, or like a good part of like Dodge Chrysler, because of how many problems that you would see in the groups. When the modules have issues, that's when you start seeing lots of posts for them. So I think they're the same as the Chargers, and they go right along somewhere up in here. So we would have a tack kind of pull some of this down and then shove towels up there before. But this one, you should be okay with just making sure everything's all roped off and you have a towel over the dash. So should be on the passenger side. Still be careful. And then every once in a while, I've seen like check engine lights, but those generally will just go away as the module, as the BCM dries out or something like that. You could trip something, Canon. What would be a real big problem is if the horn, the wipers, like everything's going. At that point, then it's like you gotta give it some time, or dry it out somehow, or cross your fingers that you didn't fry it. You know what's nice about an early morning stream? The coffee is still hot. Which we've talked about the Facebook group a lot. And we'll give a shameless plug for the Facebook group. Here, let me bring this up. Window tint stuff on Facebook. Here, that's you guys. I'm gonna paste the link here. No, I'm not. Just kidding. There. Can't right click, really? Okay. So, window tint stuff on Facebook because YouTube doesn't give us any option to have a nice community page. And look, this is like viewer inception right there. There's a lot of good people that are posting questions and showing off work and helpful tips. Like, look at this. Look at this top edge. That's a lovely top edge. Good job, Julio. I appreciate you. Filming vinyl designs, letting somebody down. Like, I mean, come on. What is this? What is this? I like my group. Whoa, what is this? Oh, Jesus Christ. And you're going to watch me ban somebody live. There's like random Chinese sellers that just spam the group, so we always block those. Does anybody know whose brand of film this is on a 2014 Chevy? This looks like something that has just faded a lot. So this root beer brown color, it can't really tell what a film is just from the coloring of it. But generally when you see something that's way off, like this, they'll fade to brown. They'll fade to purple, they'll fade to brown. They'll be super ugly. So if you have questions, if you have helpful things, I mean, look at this dude. Look at this dude. Shaving off a top edge like it's nobody's business here. Oh, it looks a little rough, but hey, he's holding a phone at the same time. I just posted a video. Oh, how do we get to the top? Oh, there we go. We press that. Yeah, because recent posts, that's how we get it. Oh. Okay. There's a couple things with posting videos and stuff. Most of the stuff is totally fine, but from what I can guess, it didn't pop up because you need to add a little bit more text to your post. So it's an automatic spam filter. You need to add at least like 10 characters or more whenever you're posting anything in the group. So if it's been shared from another page or your personal profile or something, those are still okay. You just got to add a little bit of text to it. Because then the bots come out. And the bots start just like post. Yeah, there's so many. There's so many that gets automatically blocked. Admin assist. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta find it somewhere. They give me a place I can go. Oh, activity log. Hang on, let me look at it real quick. I didn't even see who that was. Top service. Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. Oh, looks like, yeah. Okay, let me show you guys really quick. We'll give you a little behind the scenes here. Oh, not that one, this one. Okay, so like this is, to give you a little perspective, this is the last 3 things that I just did. And then this is like the mountain of spam that gets deleted. Like literally one spam bot was just wrecked. Facebook will let us do this relatively quickly in bulk for like one person, but you see what I mean? Like this is how many posts and comments and stuff that fill the group on a regular basis. That was just one, and just like starts direct replying to so many things, and it just becomes a nightmare really quick. So that's why we have those filters in place. They're nuts. All right, so you think our windshield's good? We were stalling a little bit because of that. But join the group if you haven't. A lot of you have already. Tint Borg. And why did I take off my tool belt? Yep, we're definitely dry. Okay, so that means we can put 50% on this. Yeah, I actually had to... He's getting a brand new roll. Unopened. I actually had to add some mods to the group finally to help with that whole thing. And they don't give me much to do anymore. Deep down. Oh, wow. Cannon. Dang! Oh, I just made it in time.
Kevin Rogers super chatted $50. Tech fund. Have a great stream, my guy.
And you know all about it. Kevin, thank you so much for the 50. I much appreciate that. I was helping him out some with his stream, and we were talking a lot the other day. He's a good dude. He streams over at Tint Depot's channel too. Tint Depot, and then his On Point Styling, I think, is his personal. Much appreciated, sir. That's a big one. But I have saved you a bunch of time. No, I'm just kidding. It's good. Yeah, we got into a long conversation about YouTube and trying to live stream and all this other stuff because he's taking the time to try and figure it all out. And man, there's just a mountain of dumb stuff that you have to figure out. Almost paid for a month of software. Yeah, right? But we got your back on admin. Thank you, T-Towns. Yeah, I appreciate it. You guys have been great. On point styles. Oh, okay, awesome. Yeah, there's been a handful of other people getting into the streaming game. T-Town, he's got a channel too. He's been posting videos there. I can't catch all of them, but the number of tint creators that have popped up has been really cool to see. If for anything, they know the struggle of even trying to film and post a video. It's like, you think it's easy until you do it, and then it's just like, oh, what the heck. It's just like learning how to tint, though. There's so many things to it. But anybody that wants to do it, I'm more than happy to answer questions about. How do you prevent fingers on the side to get them vertical in the shrinking process? You, sir, timed your question perfectly. Good job. I remember you asked that earlier. And so now, that's like, we're doing it right now. So let's cover that. How do you organize your fingers on the windshield to get them to go straight up and down? So it's a little bit of finesse with a heat gun and like pulling. And then it's also just, we'll just set that there for now. It's also this right here. So let me, whoa!
Top service super chatted
Top
$5.
service.
You guys really have a great community, like Kevin and Son Distributing.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the 5. I really appreciate it. That's an awesome super chat. So, back to the question really quick. How do you organize your fingers? Because when you just put it on the glass, it's just kind of laying all over the place and it's looking just however it is, right? Well, the first thing that you're going to want to do is like tack it in the center. And then I kind of like pull everything straight right along the middle of the glass. And then I'll tack it back down with like a felt card, or you can use a hard card. I just like these. So optional is to do it also on the sides. I'll do it a little bit on the sides, just mostly in the beginning as I'm setting things up. And then you can literally just do this. You can literally make them go straight up and down. And you can see all those little peaks and valleys there. So everything's kind of like set to go up and down. And then you notice if your film is kind of bunched into a corner, right? Like it's not overlapping anything else. You can cut it short from all the paneling and stuff, and then everything will have a much easier time of going straight up and down. And then same thing with the other side. So I'll go to one side, I'll go to the other side, and get it all organized, ready to go. This was already kind of set, but for example, pull it straight, tack it a little on the sides. Now, those are kind of soft tacks for the side. It's not like, on the middle, I want to make sure my film's locked down, so it's not shifting around and bunching up and whatever. But on the sides, there's a little bit of like, you can let your sides kind of like float a little bit as long as the fingers are mostly going up and down. You're just trying to make sure that nothing shrinks out on the side. So when you kick on your heat gun, and you start heating it a little past where that peak is, see how the film starts going this way? But it's not all the way over here. Like, I'm not trying to shrink all the way past the edge. And you can just press it down. So really, your biggest concern is going to be just don't shrink too close to the end, like you're shrinking a regular finger, or else you'll start to get the film to bunch up. So that's generally how it's done. And then the other part of it is just kind of knowing when to move your heat. So you see the film starting to like lay down, and these little sideways air pockets are happening, right? As the film's pulling itself together. And then it's knowing when to stop. So if you shrink too much, you start getting these funky bends and stuff, and it'll start pulling from all sorts of other places. So keep it all even, and then it'll all start to look like this. That's when you know you did enough. I need to get my what? I need to get my subs to go straight. I need to get my subs up. Oh, subscribers? I don't think so. Is that really a new restriction? Because about even a year ago, the restriction only was for live streaming, was for YouTube, was like you just need to verify your account. So you go to like the live streaming section, or like go to like your YouTube studio, and then like enable features, and live streaming's one of them, and you try and enable it, and it just says verify your account, and it's like 24 hours to like verify your account. Sometimes it happens quicker. I should double check that, but monetization was like the main thing. That was like 1,000 subs and like some other basic things. And I remember this years ago. So like when I was first trying to get partnered, on my first when I was first trying to be partnered, YouTube was only partnering like select channels, and they would manually review it, and it was like a big deal. And then I just, you know, I hit all the numbers by like a little bit. You had to get like a certain amount of subs, and then there were like loose guidelines. Like they just wanted to make sure that your channel was like significantly busy to like make it worth enabling for you. And then all of a sudden one day I got a message saying that it was enabled, and then I realized they opened up the partner program to literally everybody. And I was like, yay, oh. And then they did that for like a number of years. And then they put the restrictions back in. But their guidelines for like minimum requirements to get partnered, it's like if you're not hitting those basic numbers, like even that, don't even worry about monetizing. It's not doing anything for you anyways. It's you make more money hourly at a minimum wage job than you will in hitting even a fair amount over the numbers with all the time that you're putting in. But yeah, I don't think that they had restrictions on live streaming. Not like that. So it should be pretty open for like anybody to stream. You can only do it from a computer. Oh, thanks for explaining that. I tinted my first windshield yesterday on my own car. Safe to say it didn't go well. It was my first time tinting in general. That explains a lot. Yeah, it's windshields are tough, man. Like I don't know how many years I was tinting, and like for the most part, like I didn't really have to worry about windshields for a long time because nobody was getting them done. And then it wasn't until like people were getting them done very regularly that I had to really up my windshield game. But I mean, I would do like one windshield maybe every 3 months or something. I don't know. It was like a long time. Like full windshields were just like nobody was getting them. Now it's super normal for me to get full windshields. You can only do it from a computer. Well, wouldn't you want to stream from a computer? I'm confused. So, like, from the GoPro app, if you try and go live, are you not allowed to go live unless you have, like, a bigger channel or something? I wouldn't have thought that. That's definitely different. What the heck? Can you go, okay, workaround, possibly. You can go from the GoPro to restream to YouTube. Could you do that? Would that be like you'd have to pay for restream or something, like a low tier, but you could do it, because RTMP, bro. That's how it works anyways. You tell the GoPro to go to YouTube. So you tell GoPro to go to restream, and then you can broadcast to like Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch all at the same time. You don't need a computer to do that. I'm wondering where this like limits. So RTMP, sorry, we're like way off of windshields here, but this is more interesting. So like RTMP is just the protocol that the GoPro uses. It's sorry, also getting distracted by questions. RTMP is just sounds complicated. It's just a general live streaming protocol that every device uses to stream to platforms. Like that's how it all works. So like when you tell your computer, when you tell OBS to stream to YouTube that's using RTMP, it's just how it works. So the GoPro, you can tell to stream to another service like Restream, even without Restream being a pickable application, is like you literally just look at your Restream account, type in those numbers on the GoPro, and then boom, you're streaming the Restream. Should be pretty easy. And then you could add your YouTube account potentially, and then do things that way. I don't know, might be a workaround. Streamlabs OBS should be able to do it too. Restream isn't the only restreamable service, but they have the chat app that I use, so. Anything special you use to get tint to stick on a windshield that has full dot matrix at the rearview mirror? No. Do you sit on the car door when cutting? I have for like mirror cutouts in the past. I'd like Spider-Man it. So I literally like, on kind of like the tabs that are really hard to see, that don't have any type of border, I'll either cut them out on the inside, or if I'm gonna cut them on the outside, like if there's a Ford mirror in the way or something, like just like the older style ones, I'll push myself up, I'll stand on this part of the door, and I'll kind of like lean over here all the way over, but I don't like having to do that. Something about like practically looking like you're standing on a customer vehicle in order to tint their car. I've always been like, ah. But it's like the only way to like get up there and look, because you gotta look like straight through. That's no fun. So you pay the professional or standard? It's $50 a month for me. And I don't even know how, I'll tell you, I don't know how beneficial it's been, because like the extra places that I wanted to make sure that I streamed to was like, I wanted to stream to my Facebook business page. I wanted to stream to my Facebook group, and then I wanted to stream to YouTube. And then I added Twitch in there because I had like an extra one. And every once in a while, somebody watches on Twitch. I don't know. Twitch is kind of like a whatever. But I've noticed like most people just go to the biggest place, but we do get the occasional here or there on Facebook. It says $28 now. Ooh, they're raising their prices. They'll hit me up with sales though. Like if you search Restream and then you start like browsing Facebook, dude, I can't tell you how many like discounted Restream ads I've gotten. So they've got plenty of discounts for it. I don't know how long they last, but it's just a part of my business though. So it's just kind of like, it's whatever it is. They messaged me one day. They were wondering if I wanted to do some type of a deal. And I'm like, they're like, we can give you free Restream. I'm like, I can just pay $50 for it. They weren't looking to do anything more than that. I'm like, no. So I still use it. I like it. Is money from the channel mostly from streaming or merch? It's the store. My Tint stuff. I don't even talk about it that much. Tint stuff. Oh, it's not even gonna... Tint stuff. There. No, it's broken. Whatever. I don't even care. I didn't even talk about my store hardly at all. But as far as like revenue from everything, it's the store. So like YouTube is so up and down. If you have like, this is why I'm saying like monetization doesn't really even matter. Like I appreciate all the super chats and stuff. That definitely like adds up to things that I wouldn't normally do, like the fog machines. Those were like $600-700 plus cables and everything else, and then I gotta buy fluid for it and whatever. But like I wouldn't have done that without like super chat support. That's been like super cool. So like with super chats, I try and throw back in different ways back to the stream. That makes it more fun if you're gonna super chat. But most of the revenue from what I do is like YouTube's kind of like a bonus, and then everything else is like the store and then some sponsorships. Because it's been difficult. There's not really, if you have to rely on views to make a YouTube tint channel worth it, it's just, oh my God, they're so up and down. And it's kind of like this. When I have like, so for example, I posted a video that did 600,000 views in like a week. And that was super cool. So the channel did this. And then the views tapered off and then right back down to where it was. You have to keep putting out stuff that does that, or else your channel will just kind of like coast and it'll just generally get views and subscribers. But like as far as more subscribers equal more revenue, not really. more views equal more revenue, but that's such a tough game to play. So you have to kind of like, if you want to do this, really, you have to look at it in a whole different way. It took me a long time to kind of realize that and then figure out something that I actually could contribute, I guess. It's a 2011 Fusion. I'm getting fingers going sideways. Any help would be greatly appreciated. Well, we just talked about it on the windshield on this one. So we've done Fusions on this channel. So best I can say is kind of like skip back to that part of the stream, and then it might help out some. Your camera, your GoPro has a weird jerk to the side. Yeah, we were trying horizon leveling. So right now I'm like bobbling my head back and forth, and it stays like this. If I tilt it too far, then it does that. I was hoping there was a way to straighten that out, but back windows and windshields, it's definitely not good for. But doors and everything else, for the most part, are. So it was something I was playing around with. I was wondering how bad it was getting, though. But yeah, sorry about the Fusion. Like, we literally just talked about it, so maybe we said something that would be really helpful for you. Because when you're first shrinking, it is tough. It is tough to learn all the little ins and outs of it, and they'll start going sideways and whatever. Put a little bit of heat, let the finger start to go down, and then just keep directing it straight up and down. Noted, I'll not use that. Oh, dang, is it that bad? Do we have to change it? It's like something you can only really do from like HDMI out, but I think if I were to click record and then do it, it would stabilize, but like in the preview, it only like mostly kind of works until you lean your head too much. Unless I can update it and then it fixes it. Sometimes magical things are fixed in updates, but rarely for GoPro. It's extra annoying because I can't actually like see it when it happens. I gotta go back after the fact. Would love to see custom green tri-edges. Oh, me too. That'd be super cool. I think it'd be expensive. I could probably get them done though. I just have a bunch tied up in glass aid right now too. But it would be a fun collab. Like I got like 15, I think like 15,000 rolls in total. So that was kind of expensive. And I gotta check on that. I get them in chunks. I stole all the material. That's why there's material shortages. It's all going to glass aid right now. 97 Grand Cherokee. Oh, come on. A 97, like, okay, I don't know how serious of a question that is, and dang. Yeah, so when you're getting into like a 97 Grand Cherokee, you're dealing with lots of tighter seals, lots of dirt. So like anything to look out for is like the whole vehicle is just not going to be super fun for you to do. The seals kind of stick out in a funky way where they're a little bit trickier to cut. Usually on like the doors. And then you're probably going to be tinting against a bunch of dirt, so tape all the seals and stuff. But I feel bad for you. That's a car I'd get on my schedule and be like, oh. It's getting to the point where like anything in the pre-2000s is like old, dirty, not super fun to work on. So that goes with like a lot of older vehicles. It's like, so if you can stick in like 2010 and up, but I understand like how it goes. You're not gonna have a lot of fun. I'm gonna cancel it. Just the best way to like not worth the 4 hours of misery, pretty much. So you gotta just price them accordingly. So if you're gonna waste a lot of time on it, you gotta just price it in a like if you want to take it on, you gotta price it that makes it worth your time, because there's some things that are absolutely worth charging more and suffering through it and getting done. It's like if you're gonna have that car more frequently, you don't want to turn stuff away. You know, it's a slower time, so you can you can afford to take the extra time on it. But I always just, like if I were to get a Crown Vic isn't even that bad on the spectrum of like really bad vehicles. Like a Crown Vic's kind of like, oh, this is gonna be annoying, but I can do it in not too much longer. But what that usually comes with is like dumb bigger windows, extra dirt, and just things that are like, I'd rather be doing a Malibu right now. You know what I mean? So in that case, I'm going to quote higher on that to make it worth the time. And then when you get into the spectrum of things that are just like way beyond that, it's like you either swing for the fences or just like, yeah, be nice about turning it away. Because, I don't know, there's always like unique times, and then I'd let the people know that that's the case. It's like, yeah, it's a little bit slower right now, or whatever. It's like, yeah, I could take it on, and I'm happy to do it, but this isn't something that I would generally do like in the middle of the summer. And that's been removals for me. So I'm over quoting on removals because I'm sorry, they take way too much time, and I've gotten way too many super frustrating removals lately. What's with the red flags? I don't understand what I missed the trend. I saw like some red flag posts, but I don't understand it. How much for this windshield? This one's $130. He's getting the front doors too. So if like I have just a windshield, it's $150. But when you're getting it with some extra stuff, I've been doing small discounts on them. I've been doing that for a long time. Oh, sweet Lord. It's just a trend. Yeah, I didn't even understand what it was, though. I just saw flags, and I'm like, what does this mean? I missed it. All right, so let's pop this guy in here. So I got plenty of room to work with, which is the good side. Bad side is I only want to give this in one go for obvious reasons. So now that I don't have this mirror to work around, I'm much happier with this. If I didn't see somebody take off this mirror firsthand though, I probably wouldn't have removed them. But I was taught how to remove them. Because there's a while I wasn't taking apart Durango mirrors, Ram mirrors. Those are like the main two that are this style. They're just easy twists off, but they put like a bunch of housing around it. Is it safe to use steel wool on a back window for cleaning? It is safe, I just hate it. Leaves too much behind. It's so speckly. So I don't know, there's team steel wool. I'm sure some people that use it are watching. And in my experience, I've just had a lot of like, just like one or two. I would clean the window like 3 or 4 times, and maybe it would be a non-issue for me now, but especially in the beginning, it was a big issue. I would try and do, I like that's how we would scrub the back window, with like bad adhesive remover and steel wool. So I didn't know about Awesome. We would use like rapid remover and like some other adhesive removers. We tried like any adhesive remover that we could like get our hands on, that like, cause we didn't know, we just didn't know different things were out there that would work. Like I would never have thought to like go to the store and get like plumbing, or what is it? Oven cleaner. I wouldn't have done that. It's like, what's oven cleaner gonna do? Well, actually a lot. So like we would use some like actual adhesive remover that just wouldn't work very good on tint, and then we'd scrub it with like steel wool. So I don't know if it'd be better or not now, but I never liked it. I'd be very careful. I'd squeegee a window like 50 times. I'd go to install the film. Everything would be fine except for that one little piece of steel wool sitting right in the middle of the film. And that stuff, like, it embeds itself in the film. It would destroy it. So scrub pads. Use glass safe scrub pads. There's the white 3M ones. There's the tri-edge scrub it pads. Like all those are great. And there's really no reason for steel wool anymore. Unless you're trying to kick the defroster lines down. That's another story. I've never seen rolling up a windshield. Yeah. Welcome to the club. So this was a technique. It's called reverse rolling. There are quite a few other videos about it if you want to like look it up, and it's kind of tricky to get the hang of. Like most of your dirt is going to come from the sides. So there's been a couple of little things that I've added that have helped me out a bunch. So I will squeegee off the whole outside of the windshield first, and then I'll peel it kind of in quarters. And then gently lay it back down. That's helped out a bunch. Some people, they'll just pick the whole liner up, spray it, and slap it back down, and it's falling all over the place. And I don't know how they keep it clean, but it seems to work okay for them. But not for me. But that's a thing. So what I really like though about so I didn't learn how to install windshields that way. It's just, I guess, not as much of a northern thing. So everybody around here, we just like peel the full windshield and we carry it in. or you have like somebody helping out on the passenger side. For the most part, I'm always tinting by myself, so I don't have any extra set of hands to help me out with that. And I kind of didn't want to be pinned in a position where, you know, I run to a shop to do a windshield or something, and then I can't do it because I don't have an extra set of hands. But anyways, it took me a little while to learn, but it's been super helpful at keeping the whole windshield like really smooth when you install it. Like you don't have any more crinkles or anything like that you got to worry about. With carrying the full piece, it's like I'd have inevitably a little spot or something, like an area, usually like right in here, there'd be like a couple little crinkles and stuff. Reverse rolling goes on so much smoother. So if you do them differently, it was worth it for me to go through the pain and struggle of learning how to do it. First off, thank you for the videos and tutorials. Been watching for a while. Oh, you're welcome. Appreciate that. I've started a very small side job tinting. You have definitely helped me learn. Tyler Tint Dude. Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. Glad to hear it, man. It is not a super easy thing to learn. I'm gonna look over this footage. This could have been a bad choice for Horizon Lock again. I did it on the last one. I think it went well, but we weren't just mostly doing like front doors and a full windshield. We did a full car. Kia Sorento. Should be really straightforward. Sometimes Kia does funky things with like the windshield. And in those cases, I don't even know what to tell you. Cut around it all. But it's so unique. So somebody could maybe clarify if it is on the new Sorrentos, or maybe it's just some Kias do it and some don't, and it's just kind of you don't know until you get it. So you see how we have this nice ceramic border around this whole tab area? With Kia lately, what they've been doing is they've had like housings that clip up onto the windshield, and then they just do dots, and then they put like a plastic tab here and a plastic tab here and a plastic tab, and like I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Watch out for the glass being soft, easy to scratch. That's kind of with everything now. Like you never know when you're gonna come across something that just is gonna lightly scratch. But I appreciate that, yeah. There's been just a bunch of random times, like cars I wouldn't have thought. It's just all of a sudden they're just anything and everything. Hairline scratch here, hairline scratch there. I'm just over it. Looks to be a two-piece strip. Oh, okay, perfect. Then no problems on that. You'll do great. This is the only thing that came to mind. I saw it on like a... God, what was it? We're doing 50 or 70 on the windshield, so we just cut around it. But it was on a Kia Sportage. We did like full thing. I remember seeing that, and I haven't really seen it much since. But occasionally I see them posted in the group too, so I never know when they're gonna like pop out and be like, ha! Where did you get the dash towel? Okay, so it's the dash protector too. They were nice enough to send one over. I don't think I'd spend my own money on it, but I keep using it. So this is the problem with me. It's like my go-to towel. I like it a lot, but you can see like it's gotten pretty screwed up. So it's like $150, which I'd have no problem spending if it didn't look like complete garbage. right now. So like the ends start like, you see that? So if you just kind of like throw it somewhere and let it dry out, and you kind of baby it when you install it, you're okay. But if you treat it like any other soak rope and dash towel, you're gonna ruin it. So I don't know. It's I think an awesome product if it can be refined more. So if they can just make it stronger, use a different material, I don't know. But even the stitching was off. That was a whole thing. But you saw it stuffed super well into a dashboard like this, and it laid flat to where I wasn't bunching up anywhere, and it made this windshield install way better. So I still use it, because when you're talking about trying to protect a BCM on something like this, it's like, it's really, really helpful. Other than that, I'll use a soak shield in one of their towels, and I still like that. Just I like them being connected way more. It just wasn't well done. Okay, so we now have to put our seals back in, right? And we'll give this thing a good start and cross our fingers that it didn't it didn't break, right? Of course not. I've been trying to do the front on my Dodge Challenger for the weeks. Cannot get the cut right. Any tips for the front of my Dodge Challenger? Oh, just cutting out the frameless doors? It's tough to say. All right, let's turn this on. Let's just see what happens. Hey! No check engines. Everything seems to be good. That's lovely. So we're gonna roll these down. We're gonna pop the seals back in, and then we're gonna be good. Front windshield. Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure. Windshields are just tricky. They're like the hardest part of the car. So we've been talking about them a fair amount today, though. Practice, practice, practice. There's only so many things that I have that I can actually like say that'll be helpful. A lot of it is just like take those things and just kind of like practice as much as you can. I wish I had more that I could tell you on stuff like that, but there's just not. See? Now we're all popped back in. Yay, I like it when it's that easy. Shrink it, cut it, install it, clean it. You got water to be careful on with that windshield too. Challengers, Chargers, Durangos. Why did I take the deals out? Because the sale is over. Take the deals out. All right. Should we say it one more time? All right. We'll say it one more time. And then make sure that's all locked in. Perfect. So that's good. All right. So the reason we took the deals out is I was at another shop and I was tinting the front doors on a Durango. Just like I get a million Rams, get a bunch of Grand Cherokees, Durango on my schedule. Yeah, no problem, whatever. So then I'm happy away, I'm tinting. Water ran apparently from the seal down this speaker wire to a module that's like somewhere right around here. So it's just definitely pull the seal and then the water will go straight down, and it doesn't like, it literally, it'll run straight down behind that membrane that goes and then out the drain holes in the bottom. That's what most of the time happens. But this happy little accident here is like water channeled from here and the speaker wire is way up here above that, and then it just happened to be in the spot where like water channels along this way, hops the trip onto the wire, and then it creates a little stream trail right down to that module, and freaked out the whole car. So be careful. So ever since, I've just been popping these back, pulling the seals, because that would be something we definitely don't want to happen. The rest of that's self-explanatory. I've said it about 5 times this stream. But any awareness that I can create for it, kind of like with the chargers. I don't know. Kind of like with those. What was the other ones? Oh yeah, the Rams. Just like the Rams. There's just some cars with electronic issue. Join the Facebook group and then keep an eye out for stuff like that. It's like invaluably helpful. If I go live wrapping this bumper, is that something you don't want to see in your group? No, post it. That's great. As far as the Facebook group goes, it's all like auto film related. It is centered around window tinting. So like, thank you for asking. But yeah, definitely, I mean, especially because you're a mod. I think bringing different aspects all around window tinting to the group is just helpful. There's just, doesn't seem to be as many, as much interest like when I do that kind of stuff on my channel, but like there are those people that just like, I mean, there's so many questions about that type of stuff, so love to see it. All right, this is probably the most difficult part. I'm gonna use StreamYard and share a link. That's cool. A lot of people have been talking about StreamYard. Their advertising's been working. I haven't really played around with them much, but I've heard a lot about them. I like the way that they dress up and make it easy to like add people. So like they can make it use, or you can add, like you can invite somebody to be a guest on pretty easily, where like stuff with OBS makes it a little bit more complicated. Actually, a lot more complicated. All right. Just want to make sure this is cleaned off so you can see. We got a nice non-peely edge up here, even though we had it with the seals. And then we'll go to the other side and ensure the same thing. Oh, we already put that one up. Oh well, whatever. Totally fine. Oh yeah, I got this little guy right there. There we go. There we go. Sweet. Looks good. Looks really good. You rolled down? Yep. That's totally fine too. It doesn't happen very often that you see me do it. I'm always still very cautious about doing it. But you should be able to install front doors, back doors, and then as soon as they're like on the window, you should be able to roll them down right away and have no problems. And I know it's like it's a little bit of a meme, like leave your windows up for like 3 or 4 days, 4 or 5 a week in like the really cold weather. So you still have like some little bubbles and streakiness. That's normal. Give it some time to dry out. And so I'll always tell my customers, just leave your windows up for a few days. It's just, they're all used to it. It's just a helpful thing to do. But life happens, and then you go through like a drive-through or something, and then you accidentally roll your windows down or for whatever reason. So everything should be fine. And then if something happens to peel anyways, it's all, to me, it's all under warranty. Even if they did it early, it's like, don't sweat it. I mean, how much would that suck to pay to have your windows tinted? and then it peels, and then the shop then is like, whoa, you should have, and they're like, shit, man, I'm sorry. I mean, you have every right to charge them again, but, you know, it's just, sometimes it happens. But in my opinion, it all should be fine. As soon as you get them, you should be able to roll them down, but pay attention to the shop when they're telling you the instructions too, because I can't guarantee that they wouldn't charge you or anything to redo it. You know, and whatever guidelines the shop tells you, just respect them. But this is 50 on the windshield. This is 20 on the front doors. So we got a nice factory match here. Wow, that comes like super close. I love the domestic matches. They look great. The windshield, now it gets a lot of the reflection from this overhang thing, and that's what's nice about doing like 50% on your windshield. It's generally a much lighter shade to do in general, but when you do it on the windshield, it's angled up facing the sky, so it like kind of blends in the side matrix and the windshield. Like it just kind of blends it in all together. I still have my towel covers in there too, so it kind of like you can see the dark parts and you can see that. As soon as I pull them, it'll just kind of like, because it's all black interior, it'll make them seem even much darker than it is. How much for the whole job? This was $230. So we didn't do anything more fancy than our standard here. So this is a Pro Classic job. Turned out very, very nice. Headlights are still on. Okay, cool. Auto lights. It's like the one last little thing. It's like, let's just make sure they shut off. Okay, cool, they do. Everything's good. Canon. So that was nice. We had some time with this one, and it looks very good for it. So I'm happy that all went really, really well. I made a cool page on my website that talks about it. Looks like most of the words, took most of the words from Rick and Brittany, but pretty nice. Oh, nice. That's cool. Like a little, what, customer checkout page type of thing? Like what to expect? On my windshield, there's parts of the dot matrix and spots that are not. Is this normal? Oh, on the windshield, there's parts of the dot matrix covered and spots that are not. Is that normal? I'd have to see a picture of it. So if you're like literally sitting on the inside of the car and you can see like holes where they just cut around your dot matrix, I don't like that at all. I think that is stupid, lazy tinting at its finest. But if it's like you had your windshield tinted or part of it, and like there's spots that kind of look lighter than other spots, and you like just had it tinted, you need to give it a little time to dry. So I guess it depends if you're on the inside or the outside. You shouldn't have light gaps, but some places they cut around the dots. You'll have like a big Ford cutout, right? Like dot matrix Ford all up here, and they'll have the little tab. They'll like literally just they'll just cut around the whole thing. And I don't even know how. I don't even know how. I think I did that one time. I did it on a, what was it? A GMC. I think it was like a Yukon. I did it on a Yukon or something like that. It was like a 2010-ish Yukon. I had front doors and a windshield strip. And this thing had like three separate, like it had the mirror tab, it had a circle rain sensor, and it had something else that was just all screwed up on there. And they completely screwed up my morning. They had like 3 cars for front doors in the morning, and like 2 of them were getting windshield strips, and then I had another full day. They just completely overbooked the morning. And I'm looking at that going, I could either spend the next 20, 30 minutes cutting this out, or I could just sit like that. That was in the back of my mind and just moved on. It worked. Wasn't proud of it, but sometimes that's what happens. This was years ago. I'd never do that in here. I was just like, I have to get on with my day, man. They didn't make it on easy on me. I'm not gonna make it easy on them. What's the darkest on your windshield? 35. 35 is as dark as I'll go on a windshield. Any darker than that, it gets pretty sketchy. Like through the daytime, you could have 5% on your windshield and you could be totally fine. But taking on like certain liabilities as a shop, if you want to just put like limo on somebody's windshield and here you go, they could be totally fine. And maybe nothing will ever happen, but it's one of those like business things. Like I think one of the weirdest things that I found out was Toyota with the remote starters recently. So all the doors have to be locked on my van, and then it'll remote start, but as soon as you open a door, the remote starter shuts off. So then I like go up to the car, open the door, it shuts off, then I have to turn it back on again. It's like, why? I don't know. That's the safe way to do it for them. So go figure. If there's a way I could disable that, I would love to, because I like live on remote starters in the wintertime here. All right, so we got a few super chats. So big shout outs to Top Service and Kevin Rogers. I greatly appreciate both of you. Thank you very much. Any support here for stream is much appreciated. So I like the 50 on the windshield. Thank you. Are you sure? Are you sure the windshield's 50% looks like 35? Yes, I am positive. We pulled it out of a brand new box. 50 actually looks like, I don't know how to describe this. Like sometimes 50, it's all about angles. So like this angle makes everything kind of look dark because you're looking into the cabin, and then where you're looking through this section to the other window, there's a lot of glare coming from the sky. So on like a bright sunny day, when the light is not soft, like right now we're in like super soft lighting, so everything kind of looks glowy. When you pull this outside, you'll be able to see in better, but especially on a bright sunny day with like no clouds in the sky, you'll be able to see in a lot easier. But then when it darkens up, when there's a lot more clouds in the sky, a lot more overcast, it looks darker. It's a really interesting look. And I really like how it blends this part better. Like it's 50, but with all the reflections, when you get up into spots like this, it just kind of like, you did 20? Yeah, we did 20 on the sides. 20 on the front doors and 50 on the windshield. I think the only way to bypass it is an aftermarket remote start. Yeah, that's something I didn't want to do. It's because I actually can remote start it on the phone. But this is also dumb too. If the car's sitting there unlocked, the app then makes me lock the car, and then I have to wait like another 20, 30 seconds for the app to recognize that the car is locked, and then I can remote start it. And then it'll run for 10 minutes, and then it'll shut off. And it's just, Toyota's remote start system is super dumb. Super dumb. But it was free with it, I guess, on a ridiculously expensive van. And their reverse cameras look like garbage. They're like way behind on the reverse cameras. They're so bad. I have the same thing on my Tacoma. It's so annoying. Okay. That makes me feel a little better. I'm sorry, but it makes me feel a little better. So, I was trying to look this up because I had Fords, had aftermarkets, and then we've had like the Chevy, the Blazer. Everything's remote started normal, and I had no idea about this with Toyota at all. So if I had known about this, I would have really appreciated hearing about this beforehand, but I still would have bought it. At least they have one. There was a guy I was talking to who had an Audi. It's a very expensive Audi, and we did the front doors on it. And then we were talking about some quirks of the vehicle, and he's just like, yeah, there's no remote starter system on it. I was like, how? And they're like, I guess on German cars, they just don't usually add remote starter systems on those. And so it's like, wintertime, ugh. Even if you put it in a garage, you still remote start it. It's too cold here. Free for first few years. Only the first. Are they gonna try and hit me up with a monthly thing? Then I'm gonna get an aftermarket. Fuck that. The remote's not even all that great. It doesn't even have all that much range on it. That's so annoying. Dang, it's one of those deals. It sucks. It's like plotter software. You use it for a year and then they start hitting you up and they're like, we noticed you're not using our film. And you're like, yeah, but I'm really happy with your software. And they're like, about that. Can't use it. So dumb. Got the Palisade. It's the same. You have to lock it before you remote start it, but I can set how long it runs. Can you at least like unlock the door and get back in it though? Or is it the same thing, like lock all the doors? I was surprised on my Blazer, I can leave all the doors open and remote start it. It's just like, yeah, whatever. It's either 2 or 3 years. No! It's going to be like in the back of my mind. I'm going to like forget about it. And then all of a sudden, I'm going to be like, top service told me, damn it, he was right. No fun. Yeah, we need those. We need those here. You know, even in the summertime, I use remote starter all the time. It's just cool down your vehicle, warm it up, especially with a baby. Like, I feel bad. We remote start it, and on a hybrid, it's even kind of funny because it's like it does run the motor some, but sometimes it doesn't, so it only gets kind of warm. I don't know. And the seat heaters could be hotter. You put them on 3 and they get warm enough, but it's just like, Some of them used to like really toast you. Just like the XM radio. Oh, that's expected with XM. I didn't think it'd be expected with this. When I was getting the vehicle, he was telling me a few funny things too. Like when he's like, be really careful when you're setting up the app for the first time, because if you say no to any of the things, it'll ban you, like it'll just outright not give you the features ever, and there's no way to get them back. And I was like, shit. Gotta make sure I do this right. But it's okay, we have it. And then that's when I found out, like, go up to the car, try and open the sliding door, it's not opening. Go to the driver's door, open it up, the whole thing shuts off. I was like, huh. And then does it every time. And then I looked up in a forum, and there was some person that was like, I'm happy that the remote starter feature disables when somebody opens the door, because then they could just get in the car and drive off. Of course you want it to shut off. And I'm just like, you're so dumb. You're so dumb. That's not how any of this works. Yes, because remote starters mean that anybody can take off with your car. I think we got past that a long time ago. Is the Pro Nano more green compared to the Pro Classic? No. If anything, the Pro Nano is a little bit warmer, especially in the 35. The 35 is like the warmest of all the shades, and it is like you look at the 50, the 35, and then like the 20, and then the 35 is definitely a little bit warmer. Cruise control is only for the first 3. Stop it! You guys are ruining my van! No! What the are you kidding me? Okay, I've been like playing around with the automatic cruise control, and like it's been fun. So it's got like lane keep, and it's got radar cruise control, and I'm new to it where I don't quite trust it, but I'm getting more used to it, and it's just kind of fun to kick on, especially when traffic's like slow and then speeds up. So it'll go up to a car, slow down, stop, and then if they start going quick enough, then it'll keep going with traffic, and that's just kind of fun to play around with. And then I turned on lane keep, and then it's like, you know, lanes are curving and stuff, and the van's actually like kind of keeping with it for the most part. It's a little sketchy on some corners, but for the most part it works. So you kick on both of those features together, and it's just like, I'm not driving anymore. But I don't know. I'm not full. I've never wanted to be a beta tester for any of that shit. So it's just been kind of funny, like leaving it where it's at and playing around with it. But then I'm going to get used to it after 3 years, and then they're going to be like, hey, if you want to keep using it, subscribe. Screw that. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. I just, like, you know, Tesla charging like $5,000 to like unlock certain features and stuff like that. I have mixed feelings about it, you know, but it's when you get used to using a certain system, and then they're like, hey, this was actually just a trial run for you for 3 years. Like, that's so dumb. FSD? What's FSD? JK, I apologize. Wait, is it really? It's gotta keep going. Was I just trolled? Dang, because the remote starter one, I probably is like a real thing, but I might have gotten trolled on the other one. Oh, full self-driving, that's what it is. Oh, okay, full self-driving. No, I haven't. I haven't tried the full self-driving. I haven't. I'm a big tech nerd, so like I can appreciate some of it, but there's like, you know, it can be. I don't know how much I would ever fully trust it until it was like years down the road. But no, I haven't actually tried it. It's one of those things where it's like, with the van when you're sitting there and you just kind of like let it actually take over. I've heard about it enough. I've driven new vehicles. I've just never had any extended time with them on the road. To let them just kind of do their thing. So now that I have one to play around with myself, like it's nowhere near that, but it's just kind of like, oh shit, I'm not turning. Oh, it's stopping. It's fun. But yeah, I'd be tripped out for sure. What do you mean Pro Nano 35 warmer? Well, you know how like on your phone screen you can put it into like, how do you say this? You can put it in God, I can't think of it. So on your phone, you have a warmer and you have a cool mode, right? It's just a little bit more in the warmer range. After the trial, remote control pay cruise control, hopefully not. I should check this guy out. You can give it a try on my car if you want. Oh yeah, because you're bringing in the Model 3. Oh, that'd be interesting. Maybe I'd sit there and have you do it. Let me see. What was I? So it's a Toyota remote start monthly cost. I'm looking this up right now. The Toyota connected services price is insane. Shut up. Is it really? We're going to find out real quick. We're going to see how chat just ruined my perfect van experience. I just got a notification that the free trial for the Toyota connected services on my 2020 is expiring. From everything that I've been told in the past, I thought it was $8 per month or $80 per year for the service. Turns out that it's that much per service. That makes $24 per month or $240 for the year if you want all three. Shut up. Safety Connect, Remote Connect, Destination Assist. Remote Connect is $8 a month. So I have to pay $8 a month for remote start on my car. That's sad. What's the cost of remote start on a smartwatch? What? Do they have it on a smartwatch too? No. I don't know if they do that. Nobody responded to that. Toyota connected services. Oh. Okay, so like Wi-Fi they always charge like a butt ton for. That's normal. Remote connect. Yep, this is what it looks like. Trial period. Service Connect, Safety Connect 1 year, Remote Connect 1 year, Destination. So this is why they gave it to me for free then, right? So if we scroll down, where's the Highlander, Prius Prime, RAV4, Sequoia, Sienna? Remote Connect, not available, 2021. What do you mean it's not available? Audio, audio, premium audio. I don't know what these are. Remote Connect 1 year, $80 a year or $8 a month. I'm probably going to bitch and moan and then just pay it. But that's super dumb. I wonder how long my trial period will last. 2020 remote start trial period. Yeah, this is like the same type of thing. I know it says like one year. Service Connect will be included with. I don't know. I'm gonna have to read this offline, I think. Yes, if your vehicle is equipped with Toyota Remote Connect, you can enroll at no extra cost, 6 months. I might have to call a dealer and ask what kind of trial I have on it. No way! I can get it on my watch? Shut up. You guys are so helpful right now. How do I add this? Wait. It should be like on the watch app, right? I want to do this like right now. Oh, I don't want to do a software update. Toyota. Show on. I have it already. It's been sitting here. I was thinking of telling Siri to just start my car. Toyota. Oh my God. There's my car. Start, stop, lock. This is amazing. I'm so going to pay $8 a month now. Okay, this makes it way more fun. If I can tell, I can see the status of the fuel. Can I see how many miles it has? That would be amazing. That is super trippy. So if I want to lock it, I'm locking it right now. Sorry. I didn't think that they would actually make an app for it, so I just never looked. But I'm like gleefully happy right now because I can actually lock my car, unlock it. Because that's it. It's like, I gotta pull out my phone, I gotta open up the app, and then I gotta lock, and then I gotta put my phone down for another like 10, 20 seconds. And then I can actually remote start it if I forgot to lock it in the first place. So now that I got remote starter here, as long as it works, right now it's just doing a little circle. I'm gonna pay for this shit. All right. Well, that was fun. Exactly. Tell family you have to cancel Disney Plus to pay for remote starter. Definitely. Well, that was eye-opening. Why did you switch to Apple? It was for family. There's a couple. What I like better about it is like iMessage and FaceTime, because we were using like Messenger, and Messenger video is garbage. It's gone way downhill. I don't know. I thought it was better before, and then it's definitely just not improved. It's always blocky. It's always chuggy. It's like doesn't matter what my Wi-Fi connection is. You do FaceTime, and it's just like crystal clear, and it just works. It works really well. I've been playing around with like reminders and some other stuff. So I think it's good when you're kind of like, if you're in the full ecosystem, if you're kind of just like one-off and mostly just using the phone, I think they're pretty comparable. Like there's definitely features that Android has over Apple. That gap has slowly been closing. But it like for every 5 features Android's come out, Apple like slowly catches up one by one, and it's just really annoying. So yeah, we're both on iPhones. We got Apple Watches, and I like the Apple Watch definitely better than the Galaxy Watch that I was using, as far as like it just works, its functionality. Plus we have like it's still doing the little circle thing. So as far as I can tell, it's just, I don't know if it's actually gonna work. But we have like walkie-talkie. I mean, that's cool, right? Let me see. What? Is this working? There, I'm trying to walkie-talkie my wife right now. The walkie-talkie worked. I'm still on stream. I love you.
Okay. I want sushi.
All right, we can get sushi. Let's see. No, not Disney Plus. My household will let go of Netflix over Disney Plus. I just download some stuff. Disney Plus, they don't have enough to keep you there. They have some really strong shows and stuff, but then they're like few and far between. So once you binge kind of everything in the beginning, it's hard to stay on until something comes out. Rolex is better, I think. Depends on if you want it as a watch statement piece or you want a walkie-talkie. One last tip, you can set haptic touch for watch and make it do commands by hand gestures. Example, you can make a fist and it will do the command and set the hand. I'll have to look into that. I appreciate that. That's something I wouldn't have really looked into. Sometimes there's those random useful features that make my life way better. Like setting reminders just off of the watch or telling it to do navigation just off of the watch. Those like little convenience things works really well. Happy wife, absolutely. All right. So with that, thank you guys for tuning in today. It was fun to hang out with you for a little while afterwards. I gotta let them know that they can pick this up. Everything's all set on this one. So we'll be back with another stream here pretty soon. Y'all have a good one. Thank you for ruining my van. Nice. Thank you for ruining my happy family van and making it cost even more money than it should. And I'll see you guys soon. Can we get a shop tour soon? When I clean it up a little bit more. I want to redo the front. I really do. So I got to jump on that here pretty soon. I think I figured out what I'm going to do. I just had to get it started. So but we've done shop tours like earlier on when we first moved in here too. The front's disappointing right now, so we got to improve it. All right. So